Welcome back. UB football hits prime time tonight when the Bulls take on the Akron Zips at 8 p.m. at UB Stadium. Right now, we are starting the tailgating for the game a little bit early. We have Adam Coates, Assistant Director of UB Campus Dining, and Neil Saluzio. He's the supervisor here on the Big Blue food truck. We're just talking a little bit about the food truck, guys. Tell us about her.
We started her this year in August. She was built in New Jersey, and she runs for lunch right now, Monday through Friday. And additionally, we do football games like the one tonight at 8 o'clock, as well as private catering and different events across the campus.
So how does it work? It's kind of like getting your campus meal mobile, right?
Sure. We serve both the North Campus and the South Campus. You can use your meal plan on the truck, dining dollars or campus cash. We also take cash and credit cards as well. But primarily we see students, but a lot of faculty and staff eating with us at lunchtime.
So on a typical day, where are some of the stops? By the dorms, by the academic buildings?
All over. So some days we're at the dorms, some days we're by the academic buildings, some days we're by the administration buildings, in between both the North and the South Campus on Main Street.
What a great idea. Is this a trend at colleges across the country right now?
They're starting to see it. Obviously, it's a trend nationwide, and a lot of college campuses are adding their own food trucks to their operations as well.
That's so neat. And Chef Neil, I'm guessing you're in charge of the menu here on Big Blue. What are you going to be cooking today on Winging It?
All right, today we're going to be making our cha-cha chicken sandwich and also a pulled pork mac and cheese. We spend a lot of time collecting recipes and kind of tweaking them to meet our needs. So it's been a real interesting opportunity to do some creative things and have the flexibility to change it on the fly. And
she looks great. She's obviously a crowd pleaser at all of the UB home games. She goes to all the tailgates, right? What has that been like?
It's been great. The nice thing too is it's an opportunity to have a mobile kitchen. We've supported some catering events at the tailgate party, and also just to have it open for people to enjoy the different foods.
So you don't have to be a UB student to enjoy the menu on the Big Blue, right?
Absolutely not. Anybody's welcome.
And what are some of the catering events like that you do?
We actually have one this weekend where we're serving lunch to an engineering conference that's on campus. So they're having obviously a breakfast from our catering department and a dinner, but the lunch is going to be us. We're going to pull up to the building where they're having the conference, and they're going to come out and get their lunch right from us and go back inside and eat it.
Such an innovative thing to have right on UB's campus. Lots of innovation coming to campus. You just told me in the break that there's a heated bus stop for the students on campus. What is that all about?
They have their first one opened up this year. That was generated by student demand. They wanted it, and through a couple years of effort, they got it put in. It'll open. If it's not open yet, it'll open this year.
All right, never been a better time to be a Bull. Big Blue isn't going anywhere. She'll be here for the rest of today's show. We'll check back in. We'll climb on board and do a little bit of cooking. We're also going to have the UB women's soccer team. They just won their conference championship. They're going to be joining us live in studio coming up at the end of the day.
We're feeling blue out here in the food truck today, not because we're feeling down, but because we're welcoming UB's brand new food truck, Big Blue. Now I want to introduce you real quick to Ryan Rodenhouse. You are the food truck supervisor, and we also have lead cook Tom Akara. Now, Ryan, I'm going to start with you because a lot of people, surprisingly, one of the things I found out is they like to follow along with these cooking segments. They like to try it out at home. So for people that are writing down on their pen and paper, heading to the refrigerator, what are we making and what ingredients do we need?
All right, today we're going to be making the cha-cha chicken sandwich, and we're also going to be doing pulled pork mac and cheese. Now in the sandwich, we have sourdough bread, grilled chicken, pepper jack cheese, and Asian coleslaw, which is Napa cabbage, onions, carrots, and sesame oriental dressing.
So it's a little bit of a tight squeeze here in the food truck, but we're going to try to show you all of this and get all of that covered. Let's start with the chicken sandwich. What's the first step?
Okay, we're going to take our chicken, which is marinated in our balsamic vinaigrette.
Now, looking at this chicken, it looks like you tenderized it and you pounded it out a little bit before you marinate.
We tumble our chicken, and it marinates it really well.
So how long do you let a chicken like this, when you're making something like this, marinate?
Usually a day or two.
And then how long do you want this to cook?
Approximately about 5 to 7 minutes.
All right, so we're going to let that cook. I notice that you have some, through the magic of television, like to say, already cooked. What are you going to do with this?
I'm going to take the chicken, slice it, and lay it over the bread.
All right, well, we're going to come over to you, Tom, because you have the next step. It's a little bit of an assembly line on the Big Blue today. What's happening here?
So, like Ryan said, we're using sourdough bread, thick sliced. Now, when you think of grilled cheese, predominantly you're thinking of buttering the bread. Now, what we do here is we're using a mayonnaise. And what that does is it's going to give you a real nice golden color on there, and it's going to add a lot to the flavor as well. So you're going to slap that right on your heat source.
So you're putting it mayo face down?
Correct. Some of our sandwiches, we do make mayonnaise-based AOEs that would go on the other side of the sandwich. In this instance, we are melting the pepper jack cheese on the bread, throwing the Asian slaw, which I'm about to make on top of that, topping it off with the chicken and some sriracha. Now, if you want to follow me over here, what we're doing with our Asian slaw, as he said, we're using a Napa cabbage. You don't have to use a Napa cabbage, but we try and implement that as much as we can in our menu.
So if you don't have Napa cabbage, like you said, you can use something else. What other things would you recommend?
Really, honestly, you can even use a romaine heart. Basically, what you're doing with the slaw is you want to add an element of a crunch to the sandwich. And also what we're trying to do with the coleslaw is sriracha, which is topped off on the sandwich, is very, very smoky, very spicy. So what we're trying to do with the coleslaw is we add in a Oriental sesame seed dressing. Now that's going to tone it down a little.
All right, so let's get mixing so people out there can see it. Now I have to say, watching you do this and hearing all the ingredients, this doesn't seem what you would automatically think of as campus dining.
Not so much. We're trying to give the students here the greatest culinary experience that you can get on a college campus. That is our whole goal. Our menu is going to change frequently. It's all trying to get them, you know, we watch Twitter. We want to hear what people think about the truck.
So real quick, I want to get back to what's sizzling on the grill in 1 second. So when we're talking about this Asian slaw, what do we have to do real quick?
So I cut up the Napa cabbage. Now what we have here is chow mein noodles. As I said before, it's all about adding a crunch to the sandwich. So, and same concept with the shredded carrots. And then we're going to top it off with a Oriental sesame seed dressing. Doesn't have to be an Oriental sesame seed dressing. Any kind of sweet-based dressing will do the job. You're just trying to tone out the sriracha.
All right, I'm going to let you do this, and I'm going to come back to you. You've grilled everything up. Our sandwich is almost done. What do we have left?
Okay, next we gotta just quarter the chicken, and then we're gonna take the chicken over, slice it, and lay it on the bread as soon as he lays down the cheese.
And we're going to show the finished product at the end of the show. But for people that want to experience this food truck that aren't UB students, the only time to see that is at UB games, right?
Yeah, we're at UB football games. We're also planning on doing some late nights downtown on Main Street.
So there's definitely opportunities for you to show, but really this is a way to say thank you to the students, a way to sort of show them that campus dining doesn't have to be, you know, what you think of campus dining as.
Oh, absolutely. It's really a culinary experience. We want to be the standard.
All right, well, we're going to continue this culinary experience outside, but I'm going to send it to Lauren. When we come back out here in the food truck, we're going to show you the final product, so don't worry about that. We've got the whole team outside of Big Blue, the UB new food truck. Now I want to turn it back to Ryan. Ryan, when we left, you were busy preparing the sandwich. Tell us what you finally did, like finished up with it.
We put the chicken on the sandwich. We put some sriracha on there, close it up, and put it in a thing with a pickle. And
one of the things that we didn't get to see, so you're going to have to come out to try it, is the mac and cheese with the pulled pork.
Yes, we took some pulled pork. It's pork shoulder. We put it on the flat top and sauteed it with some barbecue sauce and put it in with our mac and cheese.
So for our viewers out there that really want to try this mac and cheese, you can see them tonight at the game. Give me the details.
We'll be there starting at 5 o'clock, and we should be there right up until kickoff.
And as you can see, kickoff is at 8 p.m. I want to bring in our new friends and Lauren, because there's a lot happening.
Hungry. They have been working hard as the MAC champs, the UB soccer team. They're hungry. They're ready to eat. All
right, we want to say goodbye from Winging It Buffalo Style and want to leave you with a thank you to all of the proud men and women who wore our country's uniform.